I believe the conventional scaling of Naruto as a verse has been wrong for the last couple of years, and let me explain why. If you look at the vast variety of jutsus in Naruto that have notoriety, they all are extremely powerful, but I feel like people tend to overlook a key fact of the show. And that is that chakra by nature is not important in the aspect of the quantity, but more important in the aspect of how one applies the chakra. As stated by Kakashi, it comes down to being a good ninja is ability to use the most maximum efficiency amount of chakra or least amount of chakra in relation to the jutsu, and therefore you could basically do any jutsu that comes to your mind as long as you know how to weave the hand signs or know the chakra balances. The reason why I bring this up is because I want to highlight the actual definitions and powers of specific jutsus in the show and why those jutsus themselves are strong, not necessarily the wielder of the user of the jutsu. Let's talk about the most infinitely famous jutsu in Naruto besides the Shadow Clone, and that's the Tsukuyomi of Itachi Uchiha, and why this jutsu is just overpowered by its base ability. According to the Naruto databook, it says that in the world of Tsukuyomi, the user has complete control over time, gravity, and space, and the perception of all these aspects of reality. That no body made of iron or the speed of light will be able to repel this jutsu or have any chance against it. Another thing that's kind of mentioned within the Naruto community is that when Itachi uses jutsu on his girlfriend, that the time duration of her living out their entire lives together over about 80 years all happened in the span of what is known as a picosecond. Now I want you to think about that in relation to the Flash, who says he can perceive and think of things in the form of what is known as an attasecond. And let's figure out how many picoseconds are in an attasecond. Well damn, that's a million. I want you guys to understand the sheer absurdity that is that the Flash can have a million thoughts before a Tsukuyomi could be done. Now, I want to move on from that. I want to talk about another jutsu that kind of gets forgotten about, and that's a Shadow Possession jutsu in Naruto. And what makes this jutsu so formidable is that it allows the user to have complete control of anyone who's been struck by this jutsu by the user's shadow, and then mimic and imitate any movement the caster uses. This jutsu is so beneficial in terms of teamwork because it allows one user to hold the enemy in place while the other two can essentially finish them off with little to no resistance. The only jutsu's real limitation is that it's not the greatest in a 1v1 fight and that you're completely beholden to the sun's ability to cast shadows. Now I want to talk about the last jutsu for today, and that's the particle style jutsu, which this jutsu is so broken and yet it did nothing in the series. But let's talk about what it's described as. The particle style is described as using a three-dimensional shape that when the user uses it on the target, disintegrates them on a molecular level. Now of course this jutsu has a weakness that it requires a little bit of prep time, making it easy to dodge, but when you think of in combination of the other jutsus I've already talked about, this jutsu gets a lot more terrifying. In fact, I would argue it's the best one-hit kill in the entire verse, but because of ninjas being ninjas and dodging it, the jutsu kind of feels like it doesn't do enough. I would like to end this video off by saying that this is why I believe that Naruto is scaled incorrectly due to the fact that power level does not matter in Naruto. Power level is almost an afterthought. It comes down to the intelligence of the characters, the abilities themselves, and how quickly a ninja can adapt to a new situation. Think about all the times that characters folded one character while another character learned the secret of that technique and didn't lose again.